Hi everyone, David here from daviddumaisaudio.com, and in this video I'll be doing something I haven't done for a while. We'll be deconstructing some sound design. We'll be going over how I created some Canon shot fires. So let's get into this video. But before we do, if you guys haven't checked already, I invite you guys to check the link in the description where I have posted a free workshop going over exactly how I earn passive income selling sound design online. So if that interests you, if you want to learn how to earn $200 to $500 a month online, which is exactly what I do, I go over my entire strategy on there, and it's a free workshop. So yeah, just check in the description for that link. All right, let's get into our project. All right, so for this, I will be using Faceplant by Kilohertz, and this is the shot, the Canon shot that I created. And that's what it is. So let's go over how I created this, and we'll start from scratch and kind of deconstruct it from the beginning. Let's see if I can do this. So I'm still relatively new with Faceplant, so we'll see how I go through this. So these are the two sounds that I started with. And I basically used the same, or two similar samples. They're both snow impacts. So on the first day of snow where I live in Canada, I went outside and recorded some snow. I just threw it up in the air, some snowballs, and recorded that and imported them into here. And this is what I got. So let's see if I can play it, the sample, without a thing. That's what it sounds like. Now what I added here is an envelope because I don't want this crackling and this fuzzing at the end of the end of the sound. I just want the pop and the transient basically of the impact. So that's why I added an envelope to control the gain so that I wouldn't hear the rest of the sound. So that's what this envelope here, it's affecting the gain of this sampler and the gain of this sampler as well. So these two samples. All right, next thing I did is I went into here and I added some transient saber because I wanted more of a punch, more of an attack on the sound. And you can hear it's a big difference. So I just put up the attack, I'm gonna put up the pump a bit so that it hits even more. And that's how I got that. So pretty simple so far. Then added a pitch shifter. Doesn't do much, and what I did with this is I added an LFO to it so that it pitches it down. So you just get a bit more of that click on it. So if I turn it off, you get you'll need some really good headphones or good speakers to hear this because it's just a bit of a click at the top of the at the start of the sound. And that's what this is doing here. So again, we haven't changed the sound too much. We're just working with some, clicks and impact sounds right now. So yeah, and then once we get here, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So first thing I did is I was playing with Snap Heap here, separately out of Faceplant, and I created this weird preset. And I decided, hey, why don't I just try it in and import it in and see what happens? So that's what I did, and it's pretty darn complex. So let's just hear what it does. So if I turn it off, right, so quite a bit more complex. So let's kind of break each individual lane here and see what's happening. So I'll turn these off. Start with this one. So what I think, if I remember correctly, what I was trying to do is for each of these lanes, I was trying to split them up into frequencies. So the bottom one here that we just turned on is I was using for the bass, the lower bass, so or lower bass frequency, and I want it to be kind of a bit distorted. So as you can see, I brought down the pitch, added distortion, added disperser to again boost that lower end a bit, and even Fatuator, which is another distortion plugin. So that's what that is doing. Let's go to the next one here. I don't think this is doing much except for adding maybe a bit of a tail to the sound. So I'll leave that one because it's not doing too much to the sound right now. Let's see this one. A bit of reverb and delay, but not very noticeable. Let's play it all together. And this last one. Again, just adding more transient and then shaping the sound a little bit, changing up the format so that it just sounds a bit different and a bit of more distortion. So distorting the sound quite a bit here. Right, so that's really where the core of that Canon shot is coming from. It's probably from this plugin. By the way, I'm gonna have this preset for this Snap Heap preset here that I created. I'll put it in the description below. So if you guys want to grab that for free, if I can figure it out, if I can figure it out how to export and let you guys download that, I'll put it in the description below. So check out the description for that, and you guys can download it for free. This preset that I created for this. All right, let's keep going here. Next thing I added here was a distortion. So let's hear that. So it really brings that sound a lot more forward, I find. Kind of balances out the frequencies. Yeah, just a lot more present. And with that, I almost have a simple Canon shot fire. Of course, it's missing a lot of body and power. And for that, I actually worked outside of Faceplant and I just inserted some plugins. So first thing I did, let's see this. I added Recenter by Boom because I wanted to make sure that the shot was in the center, not out in the sides, and there's no kind of weird panning going on. So that's what I did there. That's what I did there. Okay, perfect. And then next one I did is I added Trash by Isotope just to add some distortion. So let's hear this one. And this is just a preset here. So if you go into Trash, amp drainer, and it doesn't look like I did too much here except for bring down the dry wet to about 50%. Again, really distorting that sound, especially that low end. I really like that. Spectre I left. I didn't actually use that. Next thing here is the sub synth. So what this does is it adds subharmonics to the already existing sound. So yeah, it's going to add harmonics between 56 and 80, or between 24 and 36, or 36 and 52, depending on what you choose. I chose this one here, 56 to 80, so I brought it up to 73%, and I let that be. So, and then I put it at 49% of like the wet, I guess, knob for this frequency. So let's hear that. I added a bit of tight punch here. And I also put the mode to harsh. It just adds a bit more distortion to the sound. And then I put the whole mix of this entire plugin down to 86 just to balance it out. So without. So you really get that low rumble, that low bass sound, that sub sound that just sounds really good. So that's already pretty good. I think before I came actually to these two plugins here, the sub and this final Trash here, I actually wanted to add some reverb because the sound just sounds so dry, and you'll never really hear a Canon shot sound so dry, especially in the real world. It's always going to have some sort of reflection because you're shooting it out in the field or out in the ocean or something. There's going to be some sort of reflection somewhere. So I wanted to add some reverb. So that's what I did here. I just put in a preset, which was exterior, whatever that is, Wasatch Forest Edge. So it just puts it outdoors, and yeah, it's not very much, but it just makes, I find it makes a difference in how you perceive the sound. So, and then I added the sub like we did before. And then finally I added this last Trash preset here just to make it even more distorted. I just found I needed a lot more from that lower end. And that is basically it for this sound. So this is the final sound here. What I really like about using Faceplant here is that I can actually play around, because it's a sampler, like I can play across my keyboard where I think it sounds best. So like if I go really high, I'm getting some reverb in here. It's probably from in here. I mean, I could tweak that a little bit, but if I like that, I could use that. And what's great is I can play multiple notes at once. So I'm gonna roll from the from like lower notes up all the way up. Anyways, this is it. This is the sound. And yeah, I hope you guys found that cool, useful, and valuable. Once again, I'll put a link in the description if I can figure out how to export that preset, and maybe even the Faceplant preset. I don't know if I can do that yet. I haven't looked into it. But if I can export the Faceplant preset and the Snap Heap preset, I'll make sure to put it in the description for you guys to grab for free. So check the link in the description for that. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys enjoy that? Was it good? Do you have any comments? Let me know. Questions, whatever. I'll do my best to answer them. And that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.